If Drew didn't film it, then it ain't filmed right.
Yeah. Ain't no talk crazy because I'm at my little thought house. I say don't talk crazy, I'm at my little thought house. Alright.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Ooh, I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait. It's already starting. Drew's telling me Brady has no reason to take on this killer. Ooh, I wanna play fucking some Meek Mill in order of Philadelphia for my boy Sean Brady. Now we're gonna get into the Sean Brady news. I mean, right now. Maybe not right now. Maybe we should pay our respect to Marab versus Peter Yan, but let this be a cliffhanger. This is one of my favorite reasons why I'm going live tonight. Right here, right here, right here. We're gonna get into it. I saw a clip that Sean Brady just dropped. We're gonna get into it. We are gonna get into it. First and foremost, let's just knock some of these topics off the list. Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan, booked for UFC 323 on December 6th. Now Merab going to go for his fourth record title defense inside a calendar year. Never been done before. He's just coming off a win. What was it, last weekend? UFC 320? That was last weekend, right? Already booked. Oh no, 2 weeks ago. Last weekend was UFC Rio, so yeah, 2 weeks ago. So no more than a week after his fight though. It's literally Monday. He fought 9 days ago. This man fought 9 days ago. Main event, sealed, locked in, December 6th. Let's go, let's get this money. Now, one quick thing I want to mention. I'm gonna just say how I interpreted it. Dana White goes on live and says that Merab came to the offices and worked out a deal with them to fight Peter Yan, etc., right? But it just so happens that Merab was on Ariel's show live when it got announced, and Merab found out that his fight was getting announced essentially. So I was just kind of thrown off because on top of him finding out his fight was announced, it seemed like Dana made it seem like they came to terms at the time when Merab met him at the office. I thought that's when it became a done deal. I thought that Merab would have known that his fight was booked based off what Dana said. We can review Dana's clip as well. Let's just do that right now too. But I just, let's get some opinions going about this because maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm making something of it. Where is... Okay, this is probably the best one, the full 3 minutes. Okay. Let's watch the 3-minute announcement from Dana. But yeah, basically Dana just announced Merab versus Peter Yan, main event, UFC 323. Co-main event's going to be Joshua Van versus Alexandre Pantoja. Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot also on the card. And then Dana doesn't announce this one, but Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira has also been added to UFC 323. That got announced just after Dana's announcement. Shout out MMA Junkie, Mike Bone. And then yes, Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. I cannot wait to get into this one. Now let's watch Dana break the news real quick.
So many of you know or don't know, UFC Vancouver is live on the ESPN app this weekend, Saturday night. DeRitter versus Brendan Allen. DeRitter's undefeated, come into the UFC, and a former 2-division champion in 1 FC. Brendan Allen's coming off a fight of the night win against Marvin Vettori. Then next week is UFC 321 from Abu Dhabi. The main card starts at 2 o'clock on the East Coast on the ESPN pay-per-view on Saturday. Heavyweight champ Tom Aspinall faces number one contender Cyril Gane, and Verna Jandiroba faces Mackenzie Dern for the women's strawweight title, because you all know Weili Zhang is moving up to flyweight to face Valentina Shevchenko. Also, that weekend, Power Slap 16 live and free on YouTube, and that's Friday, October 24th, and that starts at noon on the East Coast. Now let's go to UFC 323 from T-Mobile Arena on December 6th. The main event, the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Merab, makes the quick turnaround to face the number 2 ranked Peter Yan. On the Monday after Merab's title defense at UFC 320, he came into the offices here and told us how important it was for him to break the record for the most title defenses in a year. Merab's on a 14-fight win streak and is looking to make an unprecedented 4th title defense in under a year. Merab already holds UFC records for the most takedowns ever, but a win would move him into 2nd place for longest win streak ever. He's got the most bantamweight wins, most bantamweight title wins. This kid is on fire. And obviously, Peter Yan is an absolute savage, former champion, and this is a very fun fight. And you've got to respect the hell out of Merab for wanting to break this title. I love this shit. I love stuff like this. In the co-main event, Pantoja defends his flyweight belt against the number 1 contender, Josh Van. Pantoja's on an 8-fight win streak. He has the most finishes and wins ever in the flyweight division. And number one ranked Josh Van is off a fight of the year contender against Brandon Royval. He seemed to explode out of nowhere and is already looking for his 5th win in under a year to earn that title fight. He already holds the flyweight record for most strikes landed per minute and striking differential. Simply put, Josh Van is all action all the time. So that's another fun fight. Also on that card, Jan Blachowicz will take on Bogdan Guzgov, and a badass fight between former 2-division champ Henry Cejudo and Peyton Talbot. So there you have it. UFC 323 from T-Mobile Arena on December 6th. Tickets go on sale next Friday, October 24th, only on AXS. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, Daddy Dana. Thanks, Daddy Dana. What up, Scott? Let's go, Josh Van. Josh Van got a tough task ahead of him, though, Scott. Just saying. And I like Josh Van. But I think he's been getting a lot of social media hype because he's a cool dude. He bought a house for his mom. And I'm here to tell you guys, that don't win the belts now. You buy as many houses for your mom as you want. I think he might be the latest victim of some social media hype. Just like Mateusz Gamrot was this last weekend. Look at how everybody was talking about Gamrot. And then he goes in there and gets subbed in the 2nd round against Charles Oliveira. I think that these media accounts are really hyping these dudes up. Joshua Van, no disrespect. But I think that the narrative should be that this young man has a tall task ahead of him against the 4-time defending flyweight champion. 4 defenses. He's going for his 5th, bro. For his 5th. Silva has the longest win streak at 16. Merab currently has 14, so Dana is wrong about this, making Merab have the longest win streak. I'm sure Dana knows that. I'm sure Dana knows that too. Also, Usman has 15, so Merab ain't even at number 2. Yeah, but Dana's trying to sell wolf tickets. Lying through his teeth. They're like, oh, close enough. But the funny thing is, you can't say this next time. You've been saying it during this build-up already, or at least you're starting to. What's the title defense record in a year? He said that Merab tied it 3 title defenses is the record, and Merab's going to break it now with the 4th. That's what it is, right? I think if Merab and Pantoja both win, they should fight each other. Super fight. That's the fight I want to see. They're both killing it. They're both of the 2 most dominant champions in the UFC right now for their divisions. I want to see it. However, Pantoja feels like if he leaves flyweight, it won't be good for the division. The division needs a face. It needs a staple in order to grow. So maybe Merab can move down to 25. I don't know. I don't know if that's in his cards. He literally just fasts throughout fight week. He doesn't really cut throughout the training camp. So with this being said, congrats to all the people who have their fights booked, even Bogdan and Jan Blachowicz. We'll get into some of the bookings, but first, I just want to go over this that I mentioned earlier. This would be like Merab's live reaction. And no, I didn't watch this full interview, so you know, I guess that is what it is. You can correct me if there's something I missed. Merab finds out he's headlining.
We have breaking news right now because Dana White just went on Instagram. They're telling me in my ear. And he just announced that you are the main event of...
What?
Let's dance, my friend. Let's dance. Yeah. How do we do it?
Dance?
How's the dance?
Dance?
How is it?
Why is everybody wearing this aviator shit? That's a gambling company? Him, Arman Sarukian, Pereira. Anyway, Merab doesn't dance. He gets all shy. And my thing is, dude, I don't know why they announced this shit like it's a fucking lottery winner. Like, this man should have been known he's fighting. Like, what the fuck? How is Ariel, like, he's finding out about this on live? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And Ariel knows better, too. He's acting like this is chill to make it fun. But I know Ariel in the back of his mind is like, Merab, how did you not know that your fight was booked? Like, is it signed? Is the contract signed? He's acting happy, but try to read between the lines. Is he really happy about this booking, or is there something? I'm thinking this. Let me give you an inside thought. I'm thinking maybe Merab is like, there's other things that have to happen. Like, he has to sign the contract. There has to be a negotiation had. And, yeah, sure, he's excited that the fight is happening. But maybe, you know, he was looking to make a little bit more money, and that hasn't been settled yet, and Dana just went out and announced the fight. Maybe that's why he's not dancing. Just a random-ass thought.
The main event of UFC.
Okay. I don't know. Let's
Here,
dance.
this one.
How's
the dance? The dance.
What's
What's your dance? You have a dance. You have a dance.
My dance?
What's your dance? I always see you with Valentina.
Okay. And then you can come. Go back.
In front of the desk. Come in front of the desk.
Front of the
And you
desk.
tell me, what's the dance? I want to know the Merab dance. You're the main event of UFC. You're going to be 4 title defenses in 2025. Never before has this
I can't
happened.
dance. I'm like
Ariel's
I'm so
annoying
excited.
as fuck.
You have a dance.
You show me that.
What is the one? The one with you and Valentina.
I mean, there is like, okay, there is, I don't know. There is
You're shy.
I'm shy.
You're not shy. I see you with everyone. With Nina
He's
Drama.
not
You're
shy.
not shy.
He's not shy.
You are.
He doesn't want to dance. He's not happy like
the
that.
bantamweight champion. 4 successful. I have to talk into the microphone. They're gonna. Merab, you got shy on me there. What
Yes,
happened?
I don't know, bro.
What do you mean the dance?
You just told me the fight news.
I'm excited
I mean-
for you. This has never happened.
Yeah.
Why'd you take off your watch, by the way?
I was gonna move to my right hand, and you just told me the
Oh.
fight news, and I got.
Do we have the video, guys? Do we have the video of Dana announcing? Let's see. Let me try to find it. We watch it together. How about this? Did you know this was happening right now, Merab?
No, I have no idea.
You had no idea.
Just
Last time you were on my show,
Am I
you
the
were
only
telling me,
one?
oh, I should fight in New York, this and that. And then I find out you already knew that you weren't fighting in New York. You remember that? You keep a good secret.
No, this one I don't know this news.
No, you don't know this news. I don't have the video. Is there a video?
Wow, amazing.
So you're the main. Did you not know this?
Well, I have no idea. I promise because I. Don't
What do you
know.
mean? They don't tell you this beforehand?
No, they
See?
never guarantee you. You know, like no. So I tell you, he said he will try his best, and he told me the Peter no have visa, and
Wow.
that's what they told me.
So you really didn't know?
I don't.
Danny didn't tell you?
But so okay, how it works with UFC? You tell. They
You
ask,
say you're willing,
You said yes, and then that means that you know that's it. Then
and then you find out
you find out
in the media. So,
So-
if you were at home right now on your phone, you'd have just found out like us.
Right. They just wanna your like they
Yes
ask you
or
if
no.
you're ready, if you want, and then they wait. And then even Sean O'Malley fight, first fight when I get title fight, they know of course I wanna fight for the belt. They announce I have no idea. They just call me and then congratulations you are fighting for the belt, and then like 1 hour later they announce, you know, that's it.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I just broke the news to you.
Yeah, you just
UFC 323, the last. I think your phone.
Fuck no, dude. Fuck no, dude. Yeah, okay, so let's just read this real quick. Jew saying just like what happened here. At the beginning, he said that he begged Hunter, just exactly what he said. So I get what you're saying now, Jew. Scott says, Merab getting those last pay-per-view points, so he's dancing. Scott, I think that's the issue here. I think that there's a negotiation that needs to be had, and I'm about to tell you guys what I think more. Yeah, he's looking like, man, this is some BS. Yeah, Jew. Yeah, Jew. All right, so I'm not crazy here. I'm sure some other people probably think I'm crazy, but at least one person agrees. Ariel's a clown, LO, but he's an OG. Well, yeah, he's definitely an OG. Both are true. Both are true. Seems like they screwing him on some money or something. Yeah, like, see, Ariel's calling it out, but he's not really fully exposing it, and it's fine. It's all good. He probably wants to make sure Merab comes back on, doesn't want to make Merab feel uncomfortable. I totally understand. And there's no need to fully expose it. My big thing, though, they say, hey, you're fighting Sean O'Malley, congratulations. This ain't no fucking lotto, bro. Like, we want negotiation. That's what they don't want. That's what the UFC doesn't want. Negotiation. That's why they just call and they're like, hey, congratulations, you're fighting. And if you have any hiccup, right, in negotiations, they go ahead and call the next guy. But what they do is they still announce it to the world, right? They announce it to the world just because you said, okay, I'm down. But it's like, I can almost guarantee you, bro, Merab wants more money. Like, why would he just go from one fight to the next with no increase? And who knows how many fights he's already fought without an increase, right? Who knows if he negotiated for this one? It seems like he didn't even get to negotiate for O'Malley, right? It seems like he didn't even get to negotiate for O'Malley because he just got a call saying congratulations. So he was getting, you know, on that contract he was on. Maybe he renegotiated after he became champion to secure the pay-per-view points. But now he's going on to his 4th title defense. Usually champions, you know, re-sign a new deal every fight. If not, like every other fight. You know, because you're a champion. You have leverage. The thing is, the UFC wants to take away your leverage. That's why they go ahead and announce this shit and just hope that you go along with it. But look what happened last year or 2 years ago with Dustin Poirier and BSD. Right, that fight got announced, and Poirier said, "Nah, it hasn't. I ain't signed yet. We got to talk." And then they worked it out financially. But that's my take. You know, I think that Merab probably wants to renegotiate something. I'm sure he's happy that the fight's happening, and he knows he asked for it. But I think there's a little bit of bad faith involved with these fight announcements at times. There's definitely bad faith involved. This is public info, so I'm just gonna say it. I'm going to just say it because it's public info. When I did my interview with Joaquin Buckley for the Kamaru Usman fight, I was like, yo, did you know that fight was announced when it got booked? Or when they announced it? And then he said, no, I didn't. I was surprised. So it's very interesting. And he didn't want to elaborate. So who knows?
I think someone's texting you on your phone over there.
Of course, my phone will be blown.
Be
Thank
blowing
God
up?
I lived there.
Okay, here we have.
Should I grab my phone?
Go grab it. No problem. We're live. I just feel bad about our horrible dancing, Marab. We have to do like this.
Okay, let's go, brother. Let's go.
He is the champion of the world, UFC 320. Yeah! There
Here he goes. Here he
Yes,
goes.
that's the Marab we know. Yes, yes, look at this guy. The pride of Georgia. The pride of Tbilisi. The pride of the bantamweight division. December 6th, UFC 323, T-Mobile Arena, main event, 4 title defenses in 2025, rematch against 50% Piotr Jan, co-main event, Pantoja Van.
Let's go.
Amazing.
There we go, Marab. All right. So shit. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? I didn't even know he ended up dancing. Pantoja Van, great matchup. I'm all for it. Exciting. You know, these guys faced off in the octagon. Like I said, though, I think it's a tough fight for Van. I think it's a really tough fight for Van. And people who think Van is going to win this, I feel like there's no way you look at these guys skill-wise and think Van wins this. Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot, you gotta love a fight like this. Gotta love a fight like this. Cejudo, the consummate professional when it comes to trying to show up and perform. You know, I know there was the eye poke incident, but you know, Henry does usually show up and deliver. Peyton Talbot, you know, shout out Frank Ocean. Let's go see if you can defeat a former Olympic gold medalist, Henry Cejudo. These fights are good and bad at the same time, man. They're good and bad at the same time. Because does Peyton Talbot beat a prime Henry Cejudo? No. You know, no fucking chance in hell. A 2-division champion? Fuck no. But I guess at this point in time, it's different. I'd rather see these guys up against like real prospects, but it is what it is. I almost think these fights are somewhat like pointless for Talbot. But if Talbot loses, like Montel Jackson did, then it really shows, like, damn, you really don't belong. So it's a catch-22. It can also let you know, like, they really need to take a step back if you can't even beat a guy like this. Now, the one we're all here for. The one we are all here for. Song Yadong was piecing up Cejudo. Yeah, he was low-key, but I don't think, like... Song Yadong got a lot better grappling than a Peyton Talbot. So let's just see. Because Peyton Talbot got ragdolled, you know, by Hayoni. I believe, right? Got his ass beat. So I think Talbot a little bit of a step back compared to Song Yadong. So we'll see. We'll see. Not a bad matchup at all. What up, Andrew? Let's go, everybody. Welcome, Andrew, to the chat. Cejudo and Talbot is so weird, makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. You know? I like it, but I don't like it. That's the best way to explain it. Now, we got people deleting comments left and right here on this Sean Brady post. You know, we had people thinking, like, I think I responded to somebody, they said something, and I was like, listen, there's a hidden message in this booking. Like, Sean Brady is getting Michael Morales as the Mr. Number One contender, right? Sean Brady is getting Michael Morales because the UFC is sending him a message, man. Quit being selfish. Quit being all about yourself. Never really sticking your neck out there for anything or anyone, and that even includes fight promotion. Okay, even includes fight promotion. You no-sell Joaquin Buckley, right? You block him on social media. Then you turn around and then you want to call out other people. And, like, the same thing you're doing to other people like Ian Gary and shit like that, you hate on Joaquin Buckley for. So, like, I think overall we see your disingenuousness. Like I honestly don't even know the word for Sean Brady. But it's basically, I think, selfishness. I think that everything revolves around Sean Brady. And like I said, he's never really stuck his neck out. He's never really stuck his neck out. I think whenever Sean Brady announces shit, you know, he's trying to play the system. Like when Sean Brady says like, oh, you know, I want to fight this person, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you whenever people do that to you, you never want to entertain it. This is what I'm trying to say, okay? He never really wants to entertain it, right? When Joaquin was trying to call him out, he just blocked his ass. He's like, oh, I'm not about to trash talk. He even confronted him in person. And then when you want something, you go ahead and try to play that same formula. It's like, you can't play both ways. Like, if you're going to call people out, then don't be such a fucking sissy when other people are calling you out. Like, look at his fucking face here. Like, look at him. This tells me they don't like Brady and hope Morales wins. Yeah, because Brady's Mr. Number 1 contender, and he's fighting number 5, bro. Brady, Mr. Number 1 contender, can't even... You got Ian Gary fighting higher than Brady. Because look what Ian Gary did. Ian Gary, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm having a hard time pulling up examples off the top of my dome. But let me give it to you. Okay? Ian Gary signed up to fight Joaquin Buckley on short notice. Then he accepted a last-minute turnaround again and fought Shavkat Rakhmonov. Right? Now Joaquin did the same thing for the UFC. Joaquin stepped up last year for UFC St. Louis on short notice. Joaquin stepped up for this situation. Joaquin stepped up for Vicente Luque on short notice. When Sean Brady pulled out, right? Because Sean Brady also pulls out of a fuck ton of fights too. Because he, like what Buckley says, he doesn't wash his ass, and that's why Brady blocked him. But here's my point. Here's my point real quick. Ian Gary gets Bilal Muhammad. Why does Ian Gary get Bilal Muhammad? Well, maybe because Ian Gary has signed up to take fights on unfavorable dates for him. There's been times where UFC calls Sean Brady and he's like, I got a baby on the way, I can't take it. And then they call it Ian Gary and they're like, Ian, can you fight so-and-so in this country? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. So, like, there's a difference here, bro. There's a difference. Where's Ian Gary and Bilal fighting? These are things you guys will never know, right? You'll never know it because Sean Brady's not going to say it, but this is what I have a strong suspicion of behind the scenes. Okay, so yeah, they're fighting in Qatar. Now, do you think a diva like Sean Brady wants to fight in Qatar? Pay the extra taxes over there? Then you got to pay it in America too? Like, there's so many things about Sean Brady where he thinks he's smart and he's just shooting himself in the foot. So, I mean, there could be a possibility here that they called Brady and they're like, fight Bilal at UFC Qatar. And then Brady's like, no, I can't. It's not the date that I want. I'm looking, I was looking for an earlier date, and then back of his mind, he's like, I don't even want to fight in another country. I might just be putting words in this man's mouth, but I told you I'm going on a fucking tangent today. I mean, you guys can just skip this if you want. I think people like to skip the shit when I'm just spitting these facts on Sean Brady. If it hurts to listen to, just skip it, bro. Because I'm not even close to done yet. Honestly, not even close to done. Brady doesn't even get an Usman, right? Brady doesn't even get, Usman, whatever, because he already beat Leon. But Brady doesn't get a Shavkat who just returned from injury. I think Joaquin Buckley is going to end up getting a Gilbert Burns. Shout out Soda Pop. Soda Pop and I were speaking behind the scenes, and we believe that, we kind of thought Buckley was going to get like a Morales, something like that. But it seems like Buckley will go ahead and get a Gilbert Burns now. The fight we wanted last year. Or, a Jeff Neal. So, they better do our boy Buckley right. So, yeah, Jew. We think Buckley going to get a Gilbert Burns. Jeff Neal is a banger too for Joaquin. Joaquin also would run that smoke with D-Rod twice on Sunday. It don't matter. Kevin Holland, they'll just go in the school bathroom and run that shit. No contract needed. No, nothing needed. Buckley and Kevin Holland could run that any day of the week. I think Buckley versus Gilbert Burns though is the best bet. Cause bro, everybody gets their their dick polished off right after they beat a Gilbert Burns, right? Isn't that the case? Isn't that the case? Look at Morales off a win over Gilbert Burns. Look at Brady off of a win over Gilbert Burns. Right? Gary has definitely been putting in work. Yeah, and so Sean Brady's the #1 contender, right? But it doesn't fucking matter because Ian Gary been putting in that work. The UFC respects his work ethic so much more. I feel like Brady should have ran it with Shavkat. I actually didn't think Brady should have ran it with Morales, But it really makes a statement like, damn, Brady getting #8. Now, did I bookmark this? We might as well get into this one. Here's Brady acknowledging it. This is Brady always going on his thing to tell his half-truth. I hate this guy. I honestly, and I don't even give a fuck. I'm going to stand on it, but it's yeah, I do feel bad using the word hate because I don't fucking personally know him. But this guy's always manipulating shit. This motherfucker, man. I already know before I even hop on this thing that he's on here trying to manipulate the situation, tell his little half-truth real quick. Fuck off, Brady. He goes, I took this fight because fighters fight, and there's literally no other options. From what the UFC told me, this is it. This is the only guy I could fight, or else I wasn't fighting till next year. So you fought it because fighters fight. You took it because fighters fight, but literally no other options were given to you. Which one is it, buddy? If Islam wins, ain't no way he's staying. If Islam wins, Brady's a tough matchup for Islam's grappling, I could say that much. But the striking, not even close. I see Carlos Prates as the dark horse of the division. I don't, Scott. Scott, you be falling for when you say Carlos Prates, you say who'd you say earlier? You said you're bigging up on Van. These are classic industry plant type guys, and you're falling for it a little bit. I love you, Scott, but I'm just letting you know. Just be careful. Tread carefully, especially if you're betting and shit like that. Van and Carlos Prates are big. Yeah. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good, right? I hate to do this because I believe that they're good. But I believe that the social media hype from accounts like Homa Fight and shit like that, and all these other accounts, I believe that it's being disingenuous. They're telling you he's better than he is. He's good. But the fact that, Ian Gary's the dark horse, bro. Joaquin Buckley's the dark horse. I'm telling you, Prates can't even get past those two. But Ian Gary don't get his dick sucked in the media. Joaquin Buckley don't get his dick sucked in the media. I don't understand why. There's a lot of people who are levels above them, and I don't know why those people who are levels above them don't get the hype when they actually have the skills. It's like the media or something, or people don't know what they're watching or what to look for. And that's why I'm just trying to let you guys know a little bit, the dark horses. And shout out to Scott for this topic. Appreciate Scott for commenting it and getting me going on this topic. I believe the dark horses of welterweight are Joaquin Buckley and Ian Gary. Prates and Gary had a good scrap. Yeah, they did. They did for sure. And Prates, had Ian Gary looking crazy on all fours at the end of that fight. It was a good scrap. But aside from that moment, Prates really wasn't in it. He really wasn't in it. I just think that the MMA media accounts, let me tell you right now why the MMA media accounts, guys like Josh Van and Carlos Prates get hyped a lot because Carlos smokes fucking cigarettes and drinks whiskey all day long. And I'm telling you, because Josh Van bought a house for his mom. And then at the same time he bought a house for his mom, he got a call that he got a fight or like a bonus or something like that. Like, what these media accounts, they just make these posts, and when they go viral, they just love these guys after that. I'm telling you. I'm straight up telling you right now. Like, that's why Carlos and Joshua Van got a lot of hype. Because of cigarettes and because of buying his mom a house. It's not because of their fighting skills. They are good, though. They're good. I just want to make that clear. So, yeah, Brady. Oh, we didn't even watch this because I'm so disinterested in this guy. But let's watch it.
Brother, why did you take this fight?
I took this fight because fighters fight, and there's literally no other options. From what the UFC told me, this is it.
He looks like he has staph infection right now. Look how swollen his face is.
The only guy I could fight, or else I wasn't fighting until next year. And I've been trying to fight, and no matter what, we're going to have to fight all these guys regardless. Michael Morales is a great fighter. He's 18-0. He's going to be around for a long time. He's young.
You're coping, brother. You're coping. You're the number one contender. Let's talk about the real issue. Why don't they see it in you, right, to give you a higher ranked guy? Why don't they see that in you? Why didn't you get your Bilal rematch? Why didn't you get Ian Gary? Right? Why don't they see that in you, Brady? I'll tell you why, Brady. Let me be really clear, because I almost feel like I haven't been that clear while I'm doing this right now because I got excited or something. But let me make it very clear here. You have navigated your career, Brady, to where the fighters that go up against you, you give them nothing. They stand nothing to gain from beating you. Imagine going on the streets, right? Imagine going on the streets and being like, yeah, I beat Sean Brady. Imagine going on the streets and saying, yeah, I beat Sean Brady. The streets don't know Sean Brady. The streets don't know Sean Brady. And that's why he doesn't get his opponents that he wants. Because they stand nothing to gain. And he stands everything to gain. And that's always the situation with Brady. He's always taking, never giving. Why doesn't his opponents have anything to get from him? Because this is how Brady's navigated his career. He's always taking. He will never go out of his comfort zone to, even on the part of growing his name, right? He doesn't rely on even growing his name necessarily. He's like, let me fight you, right? Let me fight you. I'm winning. Let me fight you. Oh, well, you don't speak up, Brady. You don't have any character, any charisma to you. So what? I'm winning. I'm on a 5-fight win streak. So what? Give me the best guy. So what? So you know what you get when you do that for so long? So what? Ignore a vital part of the game, which is promoting yourself? You end up as the number one contender with nowhere to fucking go anymore because we're not pushing you. You can't be a champion. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know how to promote fucking... You couldn't even sell a bag of rocks. You couldn't... Not even a bag of rocks because that's fucking hard. You couldn't even sell something easy to sell. That's why, Brady. That's why. Ian Gary got nothing to gain from fighting you. Joaquin Buckley got nothing to gain from fighting you. Bilal Muhammad got nothing to gain from giving you a rematch, bro. The former champion. You haven't done shit. I guess Shavkat barely has anything to gain from fighting you too, right? Because he's already like what does he get? When you look at both of you right now, you got a more recent win, but there's so many more boxes that Shavkat checks. You know, an actual fan base, right? A country behind him. That Ian Gary victory, undefeated record, right? Massive win streak in the UFC. Like, he got all these things, right, that you take when you beat him. What does he get when he beats you? You guys are understanding my point now? What does he get when he beats him? The only person who gets something, okay, is Michael Morales, and that's who he's fighting now. Because finally, they found a way to flip the script on Sean Brady. Finally, they found a way to flip the script on Sean Brady, and they said, you know what? You've used too many people. You know, you got massively glazed over a bullshit win over Gilbert Burns. You know, again, what did Gilbert have to? I mean, Gilbert probably, yeah, he could have gained something for beating Sean Brady. Honestly, I would have respected it. But my bottom line is, as we stand right now, nobody has anything to gain from fighting Sean Brady. All he's done is took. And so that's why you're in the position, Sean Brady. Not because fighters fight, not because you were out till 26, because nobody has anything to gain from fighting you. They don't care about you. And that's crazy because you're the number one contender. With nothing to offer. Originally got hyped because he's Eddie Alvarez's prodigy. You see, it's always bullshit like that. It's always shit like that. It's never on their own merit. The fighters who get hyped, the actual good fighters never get hyped because they're fucking just putting in work. Like, people don't even hype up Merab that much. Now I feel Shavkat is getting Usman, Edwards, or Buckley. Shavkat's fucking number one contender status is expired as well, in my opinion.
So I'm gonna have to, whether I fight him now or I fight him later, I'm gonna have to get to him eventually. So fuck it, I'll get him out of the way now. Coming off beating Leon, and then I go and I take this risk of fighting this young up and comer. Once I beat him,
first risk of your entire fucking career, bro. The first risk of your career. That's another great way of putting it. Another great way of putting it. You don't take risk. You always take the favorable thing. So yeah, first risk of your career. Congratulations. And you think you're going to, again, same with the bullshit. You think you deserve the world off of your first risk of your career. Newsflash, buddy. Everybody's been risking shit. When Ian Gary, if he beats Bilal Muhammad, your win over Michael Morales means dog shit. Okay? Think about that. Why don't you think 2 steps ahead? Let me give you one piece of free game, Sean Brady. It's chess, not checkers. It's chess, not checkers. You're over here thinking about what a win over Michael Morales does for you, and you're completely forgetting Ian Gary's already booked up against the number one contender. You're not even number one anymore. Bilal Muhammad is. So please tell me what happens when that goes down. With your one risk. With your one fucking risk. Ian Gary turned around and made weight. Like right after his fucking fight. Please tell me, Brady. But keep talking like this. You think it works. Just cancel your podcast. Just cancel it. You think this shit works. It don't work.
I'm undeniable.
And we all know, I'm not even going to say it. How's Morales' ground game? Because if it's bad, then it's another hidden favorable win. I actually think it's pretty fucking even. I think Morales is really good on the ground. Morales is like a full-on martial artist, bro. Like, Morales doesn't have many holes. He's this new generation who's like good everywhere. He's just slightly unpolished on the feet. And I think, if anything, the feet might be where Morales has a little bit of issues. But let's see, Morales super unorthodox. You know, he just throws big shit. I like this matchup a little bit. I think Morales has a good chance of winning, to be honest with you.
For the title shot after that. And that's what I'm just going to prove to do. I'm just going to become undeniable until they have to give me the title shot.
Yeah, keep thinking. You got the worst game plan. Be undeniable until they have to give it to you. That's the problem, Brady. You always think you're deserved of something. Go fucking earn it. Go earn it. Go not just earn it, right? But what's the word? Force their hand. Force their hand. And I guess that's what you're saying when you say they have to give it to me. But the way you're explaining it, like I'm just going to win fights and that's enough. It hasn't been enough, brother. It hasn't been enough. You can't just win fights. Your whole gimmick is trash. The whole thing. The whole thing is trash. Terrence McKinney, Chris Duncan. Good shit, good shit. This is hilarious. Hopefully Cejudo's wifey doesn't see this. But Cejudo was on here fucking telling Rampage about some booty in the corner. Had no clue he was on live.
Look at that ass right in front of you.
Huh?
No, in front of you, like behind you?
Yeah.
And to the side, dude, she's got a fucking
Let me see.
bar box. You gotta see it though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, that one. I got to tell you, you didn't know I'm live streaming? What the fuck, man? We live. I thought you knew. We've been live the whole time.
Really?
Yeah! I'm a streamer now. I'm not a fighter no more. Shit.
Shout out Cejudo. Now, this is some unfortunate news I feel we should get into. Oh, Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. You know the deal. Good shit. Let me get into this unfortunate news real quick. Jim Miller's son. So Jim Miller's son has cancer, bro. And it was under his eye or something like that. Let's see if he's got it all cleared up. Wow, he looks just like Jim. So he says this: the last few weeks have been a bit of a whirlwind in the Miller house. After about 4 weeks of chasing our tails, trying to get our son a facial CT to see what the lump under his left eye was, things went from 0 to 100 when Angel took him to the ER to finally get some answers. About 2 weeks of waiting for a biopsy, and then the results led us to our answer. Rhabdomyosarcoma, a rare aggressive childhood cancer that affects soft tissue. He's a healthy, strong young man, and the surgeon removed damn near all of it during the biopsy. The prognosis looks good. It hadn't spread anywhere else, but he will be undergoing chemotherapy for at least 6 months. After these first 3.5 weeks of treatment, his luscious curly mullet started to lose the battle. Damn, that's sad. So we both went bald. This kid is amazing. As much as he tests me sometimes with his strong will and fearlessness and his unwillingness to be coached by his father, but I hear that's a common trait in teenage boys. We call him the mayor because everywhere he goes, he makes friends and impacts people. At his second treatment session at the hospital, he brought balloons and made balloon animals for all the other children in the pediatric oncology center, the nurses and doctors. The way his siblings have supported him through this thus far has been special too. Maybe we did do something right in this parenting thing. This is the fight I'm fighting for the time being. But now that we're settling into this, I feel the urge to get back to pushing myself through a fight camp. After all, he is my biggest fan, so I can't let him down by sitting out too much longer. In advance, we appreciate the prayers and support. I'm sure I'll be posting some videos in the future. Call insurance companies, all sorts of colorful names. Prayers up for the mayor. Prayers up for the mayor. What's this young man's name? I don't think he named him, but the mayor. Prayers up to the mayor, okay? Everybody. Man, and then, just a reminder, you got to thank God for waking up every day, having 10 fingers, 10 toes, able to go step outside of the house and do whatever you want. First and foremost. So they were joking around with the wig shit because he lost his hair. I love it. Too good, too good. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So that's this evening's stream, boys. That's this evening's stream, I think. There wasn't any... Oh, damn, I never shared the window. That's fucked. Anyway, it's this right here.
Excuse me, brah. You're excused. And I'm not your brah.
This is Jim's son's thing that he pulled out. 2 centimeters. Dang. His eye. Can't even tell when you're far back. He'll be fine. So yeah, shout out to this young man. Prayers up. We can do a doom scroll on X real quick. There ain't much going down though. Thank goodness for the Brady news today though. Kid's a fighter, yeah. Shout out to that young buck. The mayor. See, there's not much going on. Can I even say this? Can I even just say this real quick? I mean, I just want to. It's my genuine thought, right? It's my genuine thought. It's like we do. I mean, it's cool. We get news, right? We get news, and like, you know, we got some fights, right? We got some fights. But it's like, I just feel like this current climate of MMA, and maybe I don't think I overhyped it saying like, oh my god, I can't wait for Merab versus Peter Yan, right? Nothing like that. But it's like, in this climate, I feel like just because we get something like news-wise, it's like, oh, it was a great day. Like, I'm so hyped on all this stuff because we got 5 new fights. But it's like, you know, it's a Merab versus Peter Yan rematch. I don't see how Peter Yan wins it and shit like that, you know? You got a Pantoja versus Joshua Van fight. Low-key Wolf tickets. We'll see if Joshua Van is ready, but what happens when he's not? Then everybody just hops back off his dick? You know? Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot is honestly a good matchup with some good parity. Like, you got the old Cejudo Olympic gold medalist, the young rising upstart. He did get ragdolled by Hayoni Barcelos. Did he fix those mistakes and patch up those holes in his game since that loss? You know, I like this fight. It's a decent fight, Henry versus Peyton. Sean Brady, Michael Morales, it's nothing special. It's cool. It's cool. Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. Let's see it, because Taira got worked by Royval. And I believe Moreno won that decision against Royval. I believe that's just my personal belief. I know he lost it. But I believe that Moreno had a lot more like clean work in that fight. Honestly do. I can see Henry having fun building this one up. Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely a part of it, you know. Peyton Talbot, he's got a name, right? He's interesting. He's in the tabloids. He be doing his thing, right? He's got the gay rumors. He got the vape in the butt. He got fucking Frank Ocean. He got knockouts. He got it all, right? Brady don't got knockouts. Brady don't got interest to him. No parity. You know, Henry Cejudo, he didn't have much either. Then he goes, creates Triple C, starts bringing out the gimmick, you know, and it worked out. I've always liked Henry Cejudo, to be honest with you. I've always liked Henry. I really never disliked him. I know he gets a lot of hate because of his gimmick, which is funny, but, you know, never really disliked him. How excited on a scale of 1 to 10, right? I want, if Jew or Scott, let me know what your ratings are for the 5 fights announced today. How much of like a awe, shock factor, or excitement are you? Genuinely speaking, I'll say I'm like a 6. Can't go 7. Can't go 7. You got to either go above 7 or below 7. 6 out of 10, yeah. This doesn't have the same juice as like a Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree, Pereira versus Ankalaev rematch type shit. And a lot of people were saying Pereira's going to get washed in the rematch and all this stuff. Just because I swear they just don't see things. Like, they go ahead and they see the scorecards. Oh, it was like a unanimous decision or whatever the case. And they just run with that. But if you watch the fight, it was pretty close. Like, they had moments, you know? Yeah, Aspinall gone. Another good fight. That's a great fight, you know? That's a great fight. I think a lot of people sleeping on Gone too. And I'm gonna lean towards Aspinall. I see Snyder capitalized Aspinall, so I'm guessing Scott fucking with Aspinall. I fuck with Aspinall. I'm gonna lean towards Aspinall. But a lot of people think Gone is just this washed character who just rolls over and gives up L's, you know? And let's see it. Because I wouldn't be super surprised, you know, Nate Diaz, shout out Nate. I won't be surprised if Gone beats Aspinall. But Aspinall really has like passed every test with flying colors, and he's had tough tests. Sergey, you know, Volkov, Curtis Blades, tough fucking tests, bro. Tough fucking tests. Sergey, Volkov, Curtis Blades, fucking walked through them. Aspinall versus, my bad. Overall, 5 out of 10 only because I'm more excited for JDM versus Islam. Another banger. So, yeah, that's all I'm saying is I feel like all fight announcements aren't the same. You know what I mean? We got to differentiate and rate them accordingly. Some people do, some people don't. But if you look at, like, Spin and Back Fist, you look at Homa Fight, they're like, oh, my God, we got this one. Like, we got Brady versus Morales. Oh, my God, fuck yeah. It's like, dude, like, I'm so sick of this shit. That's why I'm trying to bring it to you guys right now. Like, fuck with all that stuff. Like, why? Just because it's news and it's the only thing to report today, you got to sensationalize it. Like, fuck yeah. Oh my God. We got this one. You guys don't believe me, right? You don't believe me, right? I'm sure you guys do believe me. Right? But look. Did they delete their fucking little hype jog post? Maybe they deleted their hype job post, but it was there. There was definitely a hype job post. Now, damn. I go, you guys don't believe me? Try to pull it up and it's not even there. Is it Spinning Back Fist? I think it's Spinning Back Fist. Insane. UFC 322 is insane. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't even mean that. I'm going to give Joaquin a call tomorrow and see what's the word on him. Maybe I can give you guys an update. I'm sure he'll let me give an update. I'm sure he'll actually want to do an interview too. Maybe he got some hidden news. Maybe Joaquin got some hidden news. Some calls that got sent his way. Maybe something I can announce. Thoughts on RDR versus Allen? It's interesting. I think that RDR big dogged Allen in the face-off. It's missing a fight night main event, I think, Jew. I think we're waiting on a fight night main event for December. They usually stack December. You know, last year it was Joaquin versus Colby, and then Shavkat versus Ian. RDR versus Allen. I think that RDR big dogged Allen in the face-off, and I think that RDR and Allen trained together at Killcliff FC, and I think Allen left Killcliff FC. RDR is still there. So I'm going to go RDR. I also saw a video of Allen saying he's going to knock out RDR. And I mean, Allen doesn't really knock dudes out, so that was interesting. But damn, that's also crazy, bro. Allen got 882 likes. Allen got 882 likes on his own face-off post.
No, he's big. Like stature-wise, he's tall. He's gonna try to weigh on me, but I know my attributes. I know what I bring to the table. He trains with everyone that knows how good I am, so he knows. He's just got to find out for himself. I'm gonna knock him out on Saturday anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So yeah. Who do they think? Why do you think they won't announce who's next for Topuria? Alright, I'm gonna give you it all right now. I'm gonna give you the fucking juice on Ilia Topuria. I believe that they're not giving Ilia Topuria or announcing his matchup yet because I'm going to give it all to you. Ilia Topuria, in my opinion, reached superstar status in the UFC. He gets to make his calls. The UFC doesn't say... Exactly my point right here. The UFC doesn't say you're fighting Justin Gaethje in January for our first UFC ABC card. Like how they just did Merab. They don't do that to Ilia. They really got to negotiate with this guy. Or he'll just say, cool story, bro. Like, I'm good. I don't know how this divorce, this potential divorce, affects that. Because if Ilia is going to find himself in a divorce with this wealthy-ass woman, he's going to need a fight. He doesn't have all the same leverage, all the same cards, all the same financials to sit out like he used to. So if he's truly getting divorced and he wants to fight, then he might end up just accepting this Gaethje fight. However, I think that Ilia should really... If it was my perfect world, if they offer Ilia Gaethje, Ilia turns it down and says, I want Patty. I want Patty. That's the big fight. That's the fight I want for money. Like, I want Patty. And if they say no, he sits out, and they give Gaethje to Patty. And then Ilia can fight the winner of that, or something like that. Or they bend the knee to Ilia, and they give him Patty. That's what I think should happen. But I think that if the UFC comes to him and says, can you fight Gaethje? The answer should be no. And let me tell you why the answer should be no. This is why the answer should be no. It's all coming down. The reason why the UFC owes Gaethje a title shot off a win over Rafael Fiziev is because he took the fight against Max Holloway when he didn't want to, and he got knocked out on his face. He's using that as leverage, as a favor that the UFC owes him. So he goes, I won one fight, you owe me a favor, I'm cashing it in now. I'm cashing it in now off of one win. You owed me a favor, I'm cashing it in right now. Right? So what does that have to do with Ilia? Justin's favor that he's cashing in with the UFC from that Max Holloway fight for him getting knocked out. That's why Ilia is going to have to fight Justin Gaethje. Because if the favor wasn't owed by the UFC to Gaethje, right, they would say, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself asking for that. Let's keep it a buck. If Gaethje didn't have that favor in his back pocket, right, the chit from the UFC, they would say, go fuck yourself. Who the fuck do you think you are? We've done so much for you. But it's this one favor that's clouding it all up. And I don't think that Ilia's career should be affected by it. When it's all said and done, a fight on Ilia's resume should not be dictated because of a favor the UFC owed. And it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game, so it could happen, but I'm saying it shouldn't happen. But never forget, it's a dirty fucking game. So when you say, why do you think they won't announce who's next for Topuria? That's why I think they won't announce it. I think they're trying to figure it out. Topuria versus Gaethje has no steam. When you have Paddy versus Gaethje, they already faced off in the octagon. It's like the UFC wants that. Here's another theory. I think the UFC wants Ilya versus Paddy. They're trying to book that. And they're trying to also get Gaethje on the same page. That's what I think is happening. Hey, we got Soda Pop in the building. Joaquin, New Mansa, Buckley coming back. They don't know yet, but just consider it. Why can you? Somebody comment this right now. Comment this and please comment this. Why does the UFC want the Gaethje fight? Right? If you're the UFC, right? Fuck Gaethje's fucking sissy ass demands, bro. We all know it's for a favor. I just want to know, why would the UFC want Gaethje to fight Ilya instead of Paddy to fight Ilya? Can you please tell me why the UFC wants that? I know all the reasons because everybody be commenting, well, Justin Gaethje, he's earned it. It's his retirement fight. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so I heard all Justin Gaethje's reasons. Can somebody please tell me why the UFC wants Gaethje to fight Ilya instead of Paddy? Somebody please comment it. Even if you don't align with this thinking, I want to see one comment. I almost can guarantee you there's not going to be a comment. I can almost guarantee you nobody can make up any reason why the UFC would want Gaethje to fight Ilya over Paddy. And I'll give you the quickest, easiest reason for Paddy versus Ilya. More money. More money. They faced off in the octagon. Now somebody please give me one reason. UFC probably thinks Gaethje gets slept and retires. They want him out of there. Scott, that might be the best reason. I've disagreed with you on a few occasions tonight, but that might be the best reason anyone could have came up with. When it comes to rubbing off the UFC logos, right, on his glove, Gaethje, before his last fight, if you know, you know. Gaethje petty as hell. If you know, you know. Gaethje doesn't admit to these things, and a lot of these fighters don't admit to things, just like Arman doesn't admit he pulled out of the fight because he couldn't make weight and the title wouldn't be on the line. You got to piece this shit together. Gaethje fought without logos on his gloves because of some probably onyx deal or something like that. Who the fuck knows? But Gaethje didn't wear gloves. Gaethje's now being petty about the favor. I could see the UFC being like, you know what, dude, we're sick of you. You're too fucking petty for us. You want to be petty like this? Let's get you knocked the fuck out. Because that's what's going to happen. That's literally what's going to happen. I think Paddy would be a more competitive fight at this point. It honestly would. They trying to do right by Gaethje, but at the same time want a hyped fight that fans can get behind. Yes. They're trying to do right by Gaethje. But again, and I fully agree they're trying to do right by Gaethje. They don't want Gaethje to feel like we don't care about you. But at the same time, when Gaethje's being so stubborn, I think that's fading away. I think that's fading away. The line's getting blurred. It's like at first they felt really remorseful. They felt like they wanted to do right by Gaethje for that Max Holloway knockout. And the more Gaethje is petty about it and is super stubborn and sitting on his high horse, they're like, okay, bending to Scott's narrative of, let's get you slept by Ilya then. Then see how much you ask for. You know what I mean? Because you give Gaethje a fight that could be a number one contender, and the favors and the pettiness continues. Maybe you just end that right away. That's the only thing that benefits the UFC, is being like, because I want to know where does the UFC find their benefit, and that's why I kind of agree with Scott, because the benefit for the UFC would be like, this guy's out of our hair, out of our fucking hair. All I can think is that it'd be nice to see the UFC do right, but I'm fine with either choice they choose. It would be nice if the UFC did right. You know, it would be nice, but at the end of the day, like, it shouldn't come down to like, oh, let's just be nice. Like, especially when there's the Patty fight. If Patty wasn't here, and it was Arman and Gaethje, okay, and you got Arman who pulled out of that bullshit, and you got Gaethje who's just coming off a win over Fiziev, okay, let's call in the favor, right? It's fine. There's a small discrepancy between the two, and let's let the favor trump that. But there's such a discrepancy between Patty and Justin's careers at this moment. Patty is undefeated in the UFC. What is it, 6-0? I don't even have count anymore. It's got to be like 6-0. 6-0 in the UFC. Big old dude. Him and Ilya have been beefing since UFC London. They faced off in the octagon. Like, what more do you need? There's so much that trumps it. You know, to where, like, a little favor can't, like, overtake millions of dollars. Yeah, we owe you a favor, but we're losing out on millions giving you that favor. And fuck no. Fuck no, we're not doing that. I think everybody's bending to that narrative, and I've been saying it. I think Patty puts up a better fight, bro. It's just that Patty's younger, bigger, his chin is better. Not only does he put up a better fight, he puts up a better promo. This fight is promoted already. It's already promoted. Like, you cannot just like... And I get it, because people were saying like, oh, Max Holloway versus Patty, but I don't know why people say this shit. Like, I can't even respond sometimes. Like, whenever I see people saying, like, no, Patty versus Max Holloway, all I go, like, in my head, I don't even have, like, a rebuttal. All I have is, like, ugh. Like, ugh. Like, ugh. Like, I have no rebuttal. It's that fucking, like, what are we doing, Patty versus Max? Like, ugh. Then what? Patty loses to Max and we never get the Patty fight? Like, fuck off. Max versus Charles, fucking perfect. Perfect. Patty versus Ilya, fucking perfect. Justin, you want to be a bitch about your fucking favor? Okay, fine. We're running Patty versus Ilya first. We'll give it to you next. But just know that when Arman likely beats Stan Hooker, there's going to be another conversation in place, regardless of our promise to you. That's why you can't just sit. Wins have expiration dates. Shavkat's number one contender status expired. Sean Brady's number one contender status, it never mattered. 100%, dude. Max versus Charles, you got the injury. Wait, I actually was thinking about this today because I was like, there's something more to the Max versus Charles fight that like I'm missing. Like, there was something going into it, and I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, did Charles miss weight? Like, something happened here. I'm gonna go, did Charles Did he for sure miss weight, Jew? Or, like, you for sure know that? Because I feel like he did, but I could be wrong. But it says he missed weight 6 times in his UFC career. I think they name it all here. His second UFC fight against Efring, Oliveira weighed 159. He next missed weight for his 152 featherweight fight against Cub. Went over the acceptable featherweight limit by half a pound against Jeremy Stevens, so that's 3. Islam is 4. Miles Jury is 5. Six. Actually, okay, so maybe he didn't miss weight against Max, but was his next fight after Max at lightweight? I'm just trying to piece this together because I feel like there was something more than that shoulder injury going into it. No, he missed weight for Miles Jury. I guess I'm wrong. I guess he didn't miss weight. Fair enough, fair enough. Just the shoulder injury. Just chin is gone and Ilya has scary... Oh, Justin's chin is gone and Ilya has scary hands. Yeah. Yeah, he does. It's already set in stone for the UFC. They just need to roll with it. Like, the work is done. Max versus Charles. Patty versus Ilya. If we do Patty versus Ilya, what happens to Justin Gaethje? Look what happens when you sit on your fucking ass, bro. On your high horse. You got nobody to fight now. They're all going to be booked. That's why they feel bad for Gaethje. But then retire, dude. Like, call the bluff already. Like, I'm sick of it. That's when he went on the killer winning streak. He bounced back with Jim Miller or something. Yeah, it seems like so after... Pettis was at 145 too. Ricardo Lamas, he went up to 55. Oh, they did a catch weight because he weighed in above it. Then after that, he went to 55 and went on that killer win streak after losing to Paul Felder. The thing about Charles Oliveira is that he makes himself lose a lot of the time. And I can already tell he's losing this fight because Max is already beating him in the trash talk. Talking about the injury. Talking about retirement. Talking about being the A side. These are big things on his terms. These are big things that matter. And they get to Charles Oliveira. Oliveira, I think, could have done a lot better against Max. He gave up in that fight. Call it an injury, call it what you want. He didn't get a surgery or anything. He turned around after fighting Max in August and fought in December and got a win 4 months later. How injured was he? You know? I can show my screen. How injured was he? Turned around and fought Miles Jury in December. August, September, October, November, December. 4 months later. Ilia Topuria, he crashed out and just was relentlessly going forward. It was ridiculous. I think he could have fought a better fight here. I think he could have fought a better fight against Islam Makhachev. But, it's a catch-22 because Charles seems to just like his go-forward style. That seems to be his way. And if he's losing, he doesn't have a way to... Like Ilya said, he doesn't know how to fight going backwards. It's only going forwards. So in a way, he just accepts his fate. If he's not winning going forward, he's never going to stop going forward. He just accepts his fate. Max Holloway, he straight kind of gave it up to him, though. Not even going to lie to you. All right, boys. Shout out for fucking tuning into the stream today. Good stream. Good stream. We had all the boys in the building. Jew, Scott, special appearance from Soda Pop. Monday news. Hopefully we get some better news tomorrow. But, yeah, that would be 7 days straight. Since last Tuesday, I've been running streams every day. So, tomorrow I'm going to run a stream too, though. I guess we'll go live for Contender Series. So, see for Contender Series if for nothing else. Any other news on X?
other day, and it was like, is there a bit of bad blood between you guys, or is that just hot air out there?
Nah, like, yeah, I think he's a prick. Like, he's just been chiming at me since he first got in the UFC, and I'm just not one. I'll chime back, you know, like, he just makes it, like, he discredits me as a fighter. He says that I turn him down and running away from him and stuff like this. So he's been carrying on for all these years.
Your comments are fire.
Yeah, now, like, I've obviously chimed back, and I'm not one to mince my words when I'm talking back to someone. Yeah, I just kind of think he's a spoiled little rich kid that's had everything handed to him, and yeah, I think I'm like the epitome of, I'm just the complete opposite of that. Like, I've taken everything that I have, I've worked hard, I come out of nothing, so I just love to just rob it in his face, really.
Well,
money can't help you beat Dan Hooker. That's what I want to. Money can't help you beat Dan Hooker.
I don't.
Here's my thing with the money. I actually fuck with it. Like, if you got money and you want to flex it in people's face as your gimmick, that's cool. Money Mayweather, never hated on it. Always loved it. Like, always loved it. Love watching him flex the money. Loved it. Loved it how he did it with Conor. Loved how Conor flexed his money on his opponents. It's just so corny when you don't have that money and you're Arman Sarukian and that's your whole gimmick, is that you're rich. But, like, literally the true gimmick, the no filter gimmick, is that, like, it's just daddy's money. Like, you're no better than a little 25-year-old girl who lives off her daddy. And you be bragging about that nonstop. That's literally your identity. Like, daddy's money. Like, gay as fuck. How about that? Super gay. Daddy's money is his gimmick. He's not even rich. Like don't be like. And that's why Dan, I love how he goes, you know, spoiled little rich kid. Like, you know, that's what he is. He's not like, he's spoiled. Like, he's not like really, he didn't make his own money. Like, you couldn't call Floyd Mayweather spoiled. All right, boys, that's the news for the day. Shout out everybody. Shout out Scott. Shout out Jew. I appreciate you, boys.